Beautiful day in the crypto world. My voice is like, I can't know what's wrong. I have to go to a doctor or something to figure out why I can't get my voice back. It's been over a week. Anyway, I want to talk today, a breakdown more on, I know we're kind of on this theme of XaMiner and SCPrime this week, because this is their launch at the NAB show we got back yesterday. And I want to talk more about the breakdown of our analytical breakdown we're doing now with businesses and what we really feel. Is this a good venture to get involved with? Is this something that has potential to it? Is this something that we're going to risk? I mentioned we're talking about putting 30 grand into it. Why? You know, what kind of returns are you looking at maybe getting? For those of you that want, obviously when you're going to invest in something, you want to know what kind of returns you're going to get. You know, I'm not going to try to FOMO anything here. I'm just going to give you the real nuts and bolts of what we found in meeting with the staff and the CEO and of SCPrime and XaMiner. Yesterday you saw my feelings in the video. Today I want to give you the breakdown of why we've come to those feelings and what I think the actual application is for the XaMiner and the whole SCPrime project. So let's talk about that today. I think that's important. If you're really considering getting involved with it, you can go at it as a plug-and-play passive income earner and provide a service, or you can actually get involved making a business. So let's go through those nuts and bolts today, talk about that and break it down. We have a criteria now that we're doing as we go through companies. I got so much I want to talk about, so many videos I want to do, but my voice just doesn't let me. I've got more information too. Tomorrow I'm going to come out and break down more on the relayer. I know some information out there you can find is coming direct from Nerdy Dude Stuff and others that are at the shows. And again, a shout out to everybody. It was a privilege. But I want to go ahead and talk now about what I find as a businessman, what I put my money here, and why I put my money with this company. So let's talk about the nuts and bolts of SCPrime and the whole XaMiner opportunity that's out there right now. All right, I'm going to try to work my way through this. I've been bouncing around over the place. You have to excuse me. I'd like to sit down and show you how I'm taking more time to seriously analyze projects deeper and Planet Watch and slap me, put me back where I should have been, where I was doing originally. And I kind of got caught up with kind of FOMO that, you know, listening to other people too tell me things, hey, you got to get involved with this. And so we just jumped in. And the information I got from these other sources was good before. Helium was where I got from these other sources too. So I jumped in on both those. I won't do that anymore. Now I'm going to go back to my own analyzation. We were just buying and experimenting. And we're doing the same thing now, but we're going to critique a lot more before we buy to even experiment. It doesn't make any sense to throw out $500,000 or $10,000 out there if the project in itself in 4 or 5 months is going to go kaput, right? So I'm going to go through with you what I feel about the SCPrime XaMiner project. Now, bear with me, please. There's a lot more videos I want to get out to you. I'm running around here. We're going to head up to our project tomorrow to try to get that on the market finally. We had some delays there. We need to get that on the market before the Fed rate hits us next month and try to get that sold so we can move out and buy our crypto mining farm. I'm excited about that, ecstatic about that. Had some issues also going on with, I had a couple boats down in Ecuador that I rented out, and the people stole my boats. And, you know, this is another reason why you got to be real careful where you're going to be and why we're leaving to live on a more of a, I wouldn't say permanent basis, but I'm going to move my family and stuff back to the U.S. is because the law just doesn't work down there. I've dealt with that on many occasions, and there's no justice in the law. It's just corruption. And they took my boats, and actually the police involved, the authorities involved in my boats, actually has formed part of it, looks like now. Well, no, it does not look like it is. There's a lot of evidence there. Formed part of these guys stealing my boats because they're just paying them to do it. And because I hate to say this, I know you guys are going to think, because they're classifying me as a privileged person, right? And saying that, I'm American and that I can afford to lose it. And they're going and playing the victim roles. We don't have my doggone boats, man. We signed contracts. And they were okay with it then until they defaulted on the contracts. Then they took my boats. Anyway, it's a whole nother story. So I've been dealing with a lot of stuff here lately. Plus my voice, wasn't able to get some interviews I wanted to get. It just really irritated me at SCPrime because they are very open and very transparent. So that's what I'm going to right now. What do I see in our company analysis of the whole SCPrime XaMiner project? Well, first of all, number one is the mission and vision clear? Is to offer real world solutions. Excuse me. I think I'm going to have to go to a doctor because my voice is not coming back. And this cough is just like getting worse. I don't know what's wrong with me. I feel fine other than that. Yeah, the mission to me is very clear. What's the mission? Well, the mission that I'm grabbing here is that, there is a need out there and will be a greater need down the road, probably a year, 2 years down the road, maybe even 3 to 5 years down the road. And that will increase as we go. You can see, and what does this need? Well, we need to have distributed cloud databases that are more secure than what the current competition's offering, like Amazon, for example. You have breaches in Amazon. The security level in Amazon is not as high as what SCPrime offers for the XaMiner program. And this is why standard is very important to them. And I think that they're seeing that vision and their goals of where they want to go. Though I haven't seen it written, it's understood by everybody. Oh, man, I hope I can get through this video. It's understood by everybody in the team that I met with, on the team. And so I feel that that's what's most important, right? Whether it's written is better, but, it's awful hard to write things when you're in blockchain because this market changes all the time. You got to be flexible, right? So does it offer real world solutions? You bet it does. I mean, we know for an Amazon right now, hard drives can be stolen. Data can be lost. I've talked to people that tap into. And Amazon's level of security is not that high in their encryption level. So do they offer real world solutions? Yeah. So who's going to be the clients? Well, if they get the HIP approval, which allows them to store medical data, and they then get that confidence level, and they have that standard with the XaMiners, and even the DIYs, the do-it-yourselfers, if they buy that license is $450, right? They buy that license, they'll have that same standard as an XaMiner for the most part. And so they'll gain the confidence then of there's going to be a KYC in that, and that's going to have to be understood because that's part of the confidence level when you're going to deal with medical data and certain private data, even government data for that matter, right? And I'm going to say that's where they're going. Their focus right now is the HIP and getting approved in the HIP so they can store medical data. Not just that, but that's where they're going. Now, I want to add to that too. You have the metaverse coming out. Is advancing now. NFTs are advancing just everywhere. I think NFTs are a fad as far as investment purposes, but they have a utility. For example, I mentioned the other day that insurance, auto insurance, being notified. My son got notified the other day that they want him to take a 380-degree picture of his car, and with that, they're going to create an NFT now that will actually show that three-dimensional car, and from that they'll be able to say if there's any damage or not to it in the future if he wants to file a claim, right? So with that in mind, there's going to be more of a need for data storage, and the metaverse with the games and just the different cryptocurrencies and blockchain coming out, but you're going to have the need for data storage. So secure data storage, I feel, is a very needed market and will continue to grow. I don't remember the billions of dollars. I think it's $80 billion industry. It's going to grow between now and 2030, right? If I remember correctly, those numbers that we did a video on before. There's another video that's more exact. I'm trying to remember as we're going along here. Let me just read through you so I'm not taking too long on this video. The business plan is complete and with milestones and ways to measure those milestones. Look, I didn't see a written business plan, but understood all of them. They all see the same page of here's where our plan is, here's where we're going, and here's where our obstacles are. And we think that, here's how we can overcome those obstacles. And we think we can do this. And we have a good plan behind it. And we have contingencies. They put together also this complete package by also thinking down there, okay, look, I got the XaMiner. The XaMiner is going to store data. We put that in all of our homes. You can throw it everywhere, right? You can put that everywhere. That stores data. Well, you can link up with their software. The XaMiner comes with the software already in it. So if you have an XaMiner, you do not need to buy the license that they have for sale. That's only for the DIYs, for the guys who want to build their own units, right? They want to put their own hard drives to work, which we have right now. We're waiting on the list as well to get our XaMiners. But we have a DIY set up, and we're going to try to hook up our second one this week Now, the relayer. So what's the relayer do? If I want to just buy, plug and play, and put it in my house, and maybe put it in a couple of people's homes, then just buy the XaMiner. I want to take it to another level, and I actually want to make it a business. I can buy the relayer. Now, or if I'm a business myself, and I want to store my data, right? I can store that through the relayer. The relayer has hard drives on it as well. And through that relayer, I then can assign areas or different XaMiners to store my data, or DIYs, as long as you have that Type 4 license. Well, you can have a Type 1 license as well, but it depends on the type of data you want to get. If you want to get the medical data, you need to buy that Type 4 license, a $450 one. Right now, you can buy that, I think, through the end of the month, and you get like a bunch of it back in SCPrime tokens, which is a good idea. I mean, it's not a bad idea. When I'm looking at SCPrime tokens, they're almost done with their mining, so then they're going to max out. And then once this hits the road, hits the streets, there could be a very, very high possibility that those tokens themselves are going to increase in value. They're limited. And like I said, the mining of them was done through ASIC mining, and that is still continuing on, but it's coming now to a close. So there's not a whole lot left to mine, to mint, right? Okay, so do I see a very clear roadmap, if you want to put it that way, and weighing out the negative and the positive? In other words, so good is to focus on the positive, what we can do, and the success we're going to have in there if we do this. And what will our coin do if we have that success? That's great. But what's going to hinder us from that success? Is Amazon going to rise up and attack them? If they go after Amazon, you can bet you're going to probably have some sort of opposition from Amazon. But Amazon has so much that if SCPrime is able to get 10% of that market out there, then SCPrime is going to have success. And there's going to be other competitors. There already are other competitors, but they're not in the same boat. This relayer separates really SCPrime, the relayer and the dashboard that's come out now too, and that we saw at the Las Vegas show, the NAB show. So with this combination and with the licensing for DIY, I feel that SCPrime XaMiner has a very clear roadmap of where they're going and who they're bringing along with them. And I feel good about that at this point. So let's go on to the next criteria here. Leadership in a team. Do they have the experience necessary to carry out these missions and visions and reach these goals? And what I found, and without going into too much detail, so it's not a long video, I could go through and break down some of that, but I found that the experience is there. The experience on, like my experience, I didn't get my experience because I had successes all the time. And I'm going to tell you that nobody who's really truly successful has gotten their experiences by having 100% success. You get that experience by making efforts and trying and making mistakes. And sometimes, well, some people say failing, but sometimes in those mistakes you make, your project you have doesn't work out. So you got to come back to the drawing board and do it again. I see that that's not the case with SCPrime, with XaMiner, but with the leadership, especially with the CEO, with Ken, I see that he's had that experience, and he's had that experience of where things have gone wrong in his life and his ventures, and as well as where he wants to try to prevent that from happening now. And that's what I like about it. That's what I do now is going forward is, okay, I went in, boom, very bullish on things. And then I realized, oh man, I'm deep into this. How do I fix things now that I didn't foresee coming? And I think that they're doing that. I think they have the experience doing that. They definitely understand blockchain there, and they definitely understand their product. And the product in its complete sense, from a passive income to making it a business, is there for anybody to jump into if you want to make that investment. So, I'll get to my feelings in the end here. Great. So, the token, the coin or token, does it have sufficient market cap? Well, talking with Ken, I think we're $35 million in market cap value for the SCP token, right? So anything better than 25 million, from my experience and what I've been taught, is sufficient market cap. So yes, on that one as well. Has the company considered all obstacles and potential trials in order to achieve their mission and vision? We just talked about that. I think that they definitely know who they need to target, what market to target, and who their opposition is going to be and could be. maybe they haven't considered all obstacles, especially if they're going to go after Amazon and compete head-to-head with Amazon. What's Amazon going to do? I think maybe it's just considered that they're probably Amazon's not going to consider them because Amazon's just so big. And you know, Amazon's not everywhere. Amazon focuses in certain areas. Where SCPrime wants to do is expand out like into Latin America, into these different countries, right? So I think SCPrime is going to have that advantage. I know what we're going to do is we're going to establish things in the U.S. and outside the U.S. and go and actually get involved with actual. Hey, I'm going to microfilm your data. I'm going to put your data through our relayer, and you're going to need to confide in me. I'll do a contract with you, and whenever you need this data, here's the access to data. This is what your fees are, and here's my fee for actually taking that. Here's the plus of why you need to do it. Look, if I go to a municipality and say, look, you got all your data sitting on books still, in paper, right, and so binders. So if you have an earthquake or a fire or a volcano eruption in some of these countries that like where we live, we have volcanoes all around us, and that gets destroyed. Who are you going to know? You're going to have chaos for property and so forth. You're going to have the surrounding country upside down. That's an easy sell. So then, what do we do? Well, here's my cost for microfilming your data. Now I'm going to take your data, I'm going to put it on the cloud. Not just any cloud. I'm going to give you this. I'm going to explain the SCPrime project and how the XaMiner stores the data and how secure that is, and what their costs are. So will they incur more cost than letting their data just sit there? Yes, they will. But if they want to, you know, a lot of these countries do want to get up with the age, and there's money there. They have money to do this stuff. So it's a matter of convincing. And is it real world applicable? Yeah, it truly is. In that essence. So I have my relayers, I have my Xaminers set up, an whole network of them, and I control where I put that data through my relayer, right? So if all of a sudden the ones I have start to get full, then I can put them in other people's data as well. So it gives me, or Xaminers, I should say. And so that gives me that control of that. So the relayer really is a key feature to coming in and taking control and making it a business if you want to. So you have three ways you make money then. You're going to charge to move data onto the relayer, charge for the relayer to provide, to service them and put the data out on the cloud, right? And then store the data for them. And so when they want to download that, then you're going to have that storage fees, right? You're going to have those different fees there. So there's those advantages, and I think it's very applicable in real world. And does the company have the experience behind it? Yeah, they do. I mentioned before, this relayer was a vision of the CEO, President and CEO of SCPrime, Ken, and it was a vision of his from years past, and he's developed this and brought it to market now. And it was nice to see there too, I believe, is the Chinese people were going to actually build this device for them better. And by the way, correction, they thought that was going to go on sale Tuesday. I mentioned it was going on sale Tuesday, but it's actually going on sale. I got on XaMiner.net, the same way you can buy the XaMiner for the relayer, right? You can buy that there too. And I'm understanding there's going to be more than one type, but I don't sell one type, one prototype there. That you can buy probably next week, they said. I got a message today. Yesterday they announced it on the Discord. So you can get the Discord and follow them as well. All right, so to break this down then, coming down to the end, they've identified their current and potential competition. The staff seems workable. Is the staff workable and open to its investors, infrastructure providers? So we're basically the infrastructure providers and investors in the project, right? Because the project doesn't work if we don't buy the device and put it to work. Then we're the community. And are they open to hear us on this? Yeah, they are. And I find the AMA's Ken is very open to questions, and he takes his time to address questions. There's times when some of the questions are kind of redundant. And if it was me, I'd have been like, hey, pay attention to what I've said before. He takes his time and repeats it. And I like that part. He's very straightforward. He's not afraid to tell you how he feels. And I think that's important to going forward with this project. And I think what they'll do is everything they can do to see this project have success. Like I said, I think Ken feels this is his last hurrah. This is his last big effort in his life. Like he said, about my age. We're in our later 50s. And so he really wants to see his work. And not just to his success, but I think it's the idea of pulling this project off, just doing this and building this vision he's had. It's a dream of his. And that means there's passion and heart involved in it. So that to me is very convincing, very convincing. And that to me means a lot more than analytics if I was to break it down and put it in numbers, but the numbers are there. So what kind of numbers am I going to make? Well, that comes back to how deep do I want to invest in it? Well, they're out there right now. You don't really know yet because the project's still new. We're going from beta to actually, we're not mainnet yet. We're going to go to like a mainnet beta to experiment now with the relayer and so forth. And so add that addition there. The dashboard's very, very detailed. So you can have various with that relayer. I can have 40 or 50 or whatever number of XaMiners I want out there. On that dashboard, I can control and see them all in one location. I love this. This is something that we've been looking for and I hope they would go this direction. It was very clear to me. So then basically, what do I feel about this project? To break down the niches, the solutions of the niches and solutions we see coming. We just talked about all that. And in the market, the project's targeting. What are these target markets and what's their exit strategy and potential in this market? Well, as we talked about, the exit strategy being that what's going to bring the success, who's going to be that end user client. And I think we cover that in this video too, so I don't have to go into more detail. So all that I feel is there in this project. We're very bullish right now on SCPrime in the XaMiner project. And I'm going to be taking more of a critical, analytical aspect or approach to all the project now. I've been wanting to do that, but we've been so caught up in everything that I haven't had the time to do it. And I apologize to you guys for that because, I think that the Aware was something I jumped into. I took a gamble on that one, and I did. And I knew I did, and I told people I'm taking a gamble. I bought a bunch of them. I think it's going to work. But I want to see that same stuff, the same answers I'm getting from SCPrime from other projects, like Planet Watch, etc., before I'm going to turn back and invest money there. In summary, I hope you like the video. Look, tomorrow I'm going to come out with something more detailed on how the actual relayer works. It's a very technical analysis of one of their technicians there. So if you want to bear with that, I'll explain that relayer much more detail in tomorrow's video. They have a video that came out, I think yesterday, they talked about it. I have a video that they did for me when I was there a couple days ago. Just haven't had the opportunity to get it up yet. And I apologize for that. Yeah, if you have any questions, write them down below. We're trying to get to them. Now we're starting to grow a little bit, and it's kind of hard to get back to all the questions, but we're going to do our best to do that. And DiFi IoT, please subscribe to us if you haven't subscribed. We're going to go forward with this project. We're going to put 30,000 into it, like I mentioned yesterday. We're going to buy a relayer and try to pick up 20 XaMiners. We're going to buy the XaMiners that have the lower data storage. We also bought 4 18 terabyte hard drives, and I'll buy small mini PCs. We buy a couple of those. We're going to buy 4 of those as well, or a couple more to add to our DIYs and the Type 4 licenses. Now, the license, you can go through that. There's going to be only 2 now. What came out just recently, not 3. That's going to be the basic, and not going to be the standard anymore. It's going to be basic. It's like $100 for those that want to build their own devices. And that helps you bring up to that standard of the XaMiner. If you own an XaMiner, you do not have to buy a license. It's already there. And we have to renew that license every year. What we're being told now is no, but there'll be a small fee to keep you going to help pay for updates and so forth like that, which is very beneficial, right? And we'll get more into that detail going through the actual websites another time. DiFi IoT, I hope you liked our project analysis on SCPrime and the XaMiner. We are bullish on this project. I feel good about it from my professional experience. This checks all the dots, and we're going to go forward. We're going to put 30,000 of this next month, and as soon as we can get the hardware, and we'll be looking forward toward the relayer going on sale next week. Well, I was told it was going to go on sale this week, but I guess there were some hiccups there, and so now it's suspended. Next week we're being told. So soon be looking on xaminer.net. Excuse me, I still have that voice issue. And we'll put the link down below for you as well. Please subscribe to the channel. I hope you like the video. I know it's more of a technical analysis of it, but we feel good about this. And yeah, we're actually going to make it a business, a branch of our business, like we're doing with helium as well. So we have those 2 areas in which we're working. And those are 2 focuses we have right now going on as far as developing these type of networks. MXC, we have those, but I'll get into another video that talks about where we are the last half of 2022. So don't miss it. Talk to you tomorrow.
We hope you enjoyed this segment of our video with DiFi IoT. Remember, we're not professional advisors. We do this as a business, as a hobby, and we study, we experiment, and we want to share it with you. If you can get some benefit from this, great. What we do is we go out, we purchase with our own money, and we experiment to see what true results are. We want you to be able to share in our experiences so you don't have to lose like we have. If you can win where we've won, fantastic. Remember to do your own research and your own homework. It's very important before you make any decisions. We will see you in our next video.